то есть настолько все accurate, вот.
Wow.
То есть тоже хороший дек. Ну, я как бы еще изучаю эти карты. Сейчас как бы смотрим, как они, какие значения, потому что там не было описания с ним.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited про этот Gaia deck, потому что, like, теперь, after ты уже learn tarot, like, I guess each booklet like, has its own meaning, but я теперь literally знаю what every card means. Like, и мне выпадет, like, Seven of Swords, Two of Cups, blah, 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 like, я все уже знаю meaning, you know what I mean? Как before было interesting with cheat, like, I'd look up every single card and understand, а теперь, like, я уже знаю, like, даже if I use a different deck, like, не знаю, мне в голове уже pre-done meaning, like, даже когда использую Rider-Waite, у него немного другие, like, definitions, like, немножко different, чем у других карт, but я так привыкла reading other cards, когда мне выпадает Two of Cups, я сразу думаю, like, Union, New Beginning, а там вообще какое-то, like, другое бы было, не знаю, like, which I think it's kind of what resonates with the boy, right, Tуда, like, what?
Да.
Hi guys, it's Tuesday, I'm driving to hypnotherapy, I'm so excited, I'm just on the phone with my mom, we have, like, these deep, profound talks, like, literally every single day, but, I know we were just talking about how, so I'm in like a family communication class and it's very like, it's almost more, I would say, psychological than even communication, but just like every single week, like you just learn the importance of like how the effect, like on how the effect of like how the parents act towards the child, the parents' relationships, all these things while the child is young affects not only the person throughout their entire life and all of their relationships and the type of people they're gonna attract and etc. And then how they're gonna parent their kids. And it's just like, I was just talking to my mom, I was like, I just feel like so many people don't realize that like, and it's not even a drag, but like, you know, I feel like in order for there to be a healthy relationship, you have to yourself go through so much personal development, you know, healing issues from the way your parents parented you, you know, like, it's all subconscious, like you might have felt manipulated or not as loved or like things like that, and because of these subconscious things that are in your mind, you're attracting those types of relationships. Like maybe it's, you know, like, I mean, there's obviously the obvious like basic ones, like you didn't feel loved by your mom or dad, so you attract relationships where the person's distant, etc., which I learned in another interpersonal class, but things like that, you know, and like there's just these small subconscious things that affect the rest of your life. Like even we were learning, there's so many studies that show that like when a baby's even sleeping, like in its first, you know, few months, so it literally, and in utero it's affected, if the parents are arguing, it affects the child. They put monitors on the child and the heart rate of the child goes up and it already causes anxiety in the kid. So just by the parents arguing when the baby's sleeping in another room, that already is going to affect the anxiety of the child later in life. And so just talking to my mom, and we're talking about like the importance of like to marry someone and to have a kid with them, like there needs to be so much personal development on both sides, because if there's not, you're like, what kind of person are you gonna raise? Like, because you're not trying, you're obviously doing your best, and parents do their best, but you're gonna raise your kid the way you were raised unless you went through some type of spiritual like enlightenment. And that's why I feel like I'm so grateful that like the past few years I've been working so much on personal development and taking all these psychology, all these communication classes, and going to all these like spiritual workshops and meditating and doing all these things, because like I feel like I'm at such like a level of personal growth, and I'm just like so lucky. My mom's even saying, she's like, for your age, like literally I was not at your level of like consciousness till I literally was like 35, 36, and it's just like, I don't know, just people, I feel like more people need to like realize the importance of, you know, like, you can't just be like, oh, I want a baby, and then like you're gonna raise a child with all these issues because you don't mean to, you know, you just project all these subconscious things. And if while if the parents are fighting when the kid's young, that it blows my mind how like the effect that it has. And if like the way, if the parents' relationship, if they're bickering, that subconsciously will make the parenting more aggressive towards the kid, which is gonna like, which subconsciously makes that kid be more aggressive later in life in their relationships. And that's why, like, because parenting just gets passed down. So like the way you're parented, you're gonna parent your kids unless you had some type of realization. Like I realized like some of the ways like I was parented, like it's not like, oh my god, I have to go this way, is, you know what I mean, isn't the best. Like my mom was a great parent, but like I know, like I love my dad and all, but like I was definitely had like a lot of pressure to be perfect in so many areas, and that like projected like later into my life, which I had to heal that, which I started having like anxiety because I was like such a perfectionist. And I was also like, with you, birth order is really important in your family and how it affects the type of personality a kid has. You know, like the first kid's usually like the most independent, the second is like a people pleaser, the third, let's say, I forgot what the third one is. It goes on until through 6. I don't know where it turned off or where I was talking at all. I really hope I'm not repeating myself, but basically I was saying how like, yeah, like unless you have realize like, oh, the way I was parented, like these are the effects out of my life, and I don't want that to have these effects on my kids. And you know, go through like read self-help books, go through personal growth training seminars, and realize and change or break that cycle. You know, it's going to continue. So I'm so glad, like, I mean, I realized like some of the ways, and you know, obviously your parents do your best, you can't blame them, they literally did the best that they could with what they knew, with how they were parented. But like some of the ways like your parents parented you like affected you. Like, I don't know, I've had a lot of pressure on me, always like very I don't know, like perfectionistic tendencies like arose from me, and anxiety, because I always had so much pressure to do so good in school. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I was like in all AP classes and getting 5s on all my tests and doing so good on SATs, but I was so overwhelmed all the time and so stressed, and I would be like crying, and like, you know, it was hard. And like that like later translated into getting anxious about stuff, and also projecting like perfectionistic expectations onto others. And I had to like, you know, hypnotherapy helps me so much with that. I just like, I don't know, there's so much. I know, personal growth is so important. I feel like the main focus of life is to evolve and to heal parts of your past, like your childhood from 0 to 8, the way your parents treated you, the way they talked to you, the way they even subconscious cues, the way your parents look at you when you ask questions when you're young impacts the way you feel about yourself and about other people throughout your relationships. Like in that class, we've literally probably read like over 200 studies at that point. I literally have a whole binder, and I find it so fascinating. Like, I'll even sit outside of class and research further the studies, and I don't know, it's just like it just makes me so happy. Like, I feel like I'm ready to such a great point of like understanding so much. I've taken so many classes like on different interpersonal relationships, groups and parents and children, and all these like classes, gender, feminism, like all these classes. And then on side of that, I do a lot of spiritual workshops, and then going to hypnotherapy just to like make sure work on myself. And I just feel like I'm ready at such a good point, and I just can't imagine where I'll be in 10 years. So I honestly am just like so grateful that like I found all of this and am doing all the self-work, because I just can't wait to be such a good like mom to my kids. I know, I just got emotional. That's like so crazy. But like, I don't know, just making sure like you're in such a healthy relationship to like, because your relationship with like whoever you're married to, you're, like I said, like the baby literally knows if you're fighting when you're young. And even in utero, if the mom is stressed or fighting with the dad or doesn't feel like loved, the certain hormones then could release, and that affects the kid like later. There was a study where like moms who are single moms and pregnant, like their kids later were attracting like not, I mean, I'm not saying everyone, obviously this is just like majority studies, like I don't want people to like get pissed, but like they were attracting relationships where like they later didn't feel loved by their partner, etc. Just like the smallest subconscious things that people don't think about. I mean, obviously if I didn't take this class, I wouldn't have known any of this. So it's not like blaming, it's not like whenever like I feel like people expose new knowledge, people get so defensive. They're like, oh my gosh, like not everyone knows that, blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, like it's your responsibility to learn, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have known all of this and if I didn't take these classes either. But it's just important like for me to be such a good example to like my kids and have such like a healthy relationship, and always give them affirmations, like make sure they know how much I love them, and not placing crazy expectations on them, and just being a very like, what's the word, it's not there's like 3 types of parenting: permissive, authoritarian, and then the flexible one, the one where like you logically reason. That's how my parents were with me, where they would logically reason. Like my parents would never be like, I said no just because I said no. When parents would do that, that's really bad, because when you just say like no means no and I said no, the kid doesn't learn logical reasoning. So then later like they don't understand why they got told no if there's literally no logical reason. And then later in life, oh my god, my camera is running out, but like yeah, later in life they won't learn like logical reasoning skills basically, and like later in a relationship they won't be able to understand what's right or wrong. And like those people often get like manipulated because they don't understand the logic behind it. Like, I don't know, the best way to parent is obviously to discuss with your kids. So like, let's say your kid's like, I want to stay out till 11 tonight, and you're at Sally's house, and the mom, and like you wanted him to come home at 9 or 10. You'd be like, okay, well tomorrow morning you have a soccer game at 7 a.m. so like I want you to get enough sleep. And they're like, but I really want to go to Sally's, so I promise I'll wake up. You say okay, and then you let the kid learn. Like, let's say they go to Sally's, the next morning they're really exhausted, and you go, so you go like, honey, like how do you feel? And they're like, oh mom, I'm so tired. You're like, maybe next time you can come home at 9 p.m. and you'll feel better. And you like you basically, they learn with you. That's how my parents were. If I ever wanted to do something and I gave them a logical explanation as to why, they'd be like, okay, that makes sense. They're gonna be like, no means no. And like lots of parents are like that, and that's just so like, it's just, you don't know how badly you're affecting the kids. So like, I just can't wait in like 10 years, I don't want having kids for like 10 years, to be like, you know, to like logically reason with my kids, like, oh, you want to do this? Okay, why do you want to do this? Okay, these are the reasons. All right, like, go for it, you know. And like, a lot of people just baby their kids so hard. like I feel like there's even people in college where I hear the way they talk about like how much their parents are like on them, and like, you know, and it's just like you need to like realize, like my mom always says, she's like, yes, you're my child, but like you're not, like you're like you're an adult, you know, like you need to learn your own lessons, make your own mistakes. I'm not here to baby you and to like see what you're doing all the time. Like, you need to give your kid freedom, and I feel like some people don't, and that's just like so toxic. So I don't know why I got in this whole rant. I just like am really, I don't know, I'm just like very obsessed with psychology, sociology, spirituality, like the effects of like everything, like subconscious and all that type of stuff. I don't know, I'm just like so into it. I'm actually at hypnotherapy right now, which I love, like every week working on it. And a lot of you guys go to my hypnotherapist via Skype. You can come to her in person if you're in LA. It shows a ton via Skype. It's amazing. You can, I've explained it so many times, so I'll just leave her info if you want to call and ask what hypnotherapy is, what it does, etc. But I'm just so excited. I have so many like things to talk about with her, and like, I don't know, I'm really passionate, and I feel like I was just sitting here realizing that like I don't really share a lot of like these like deep thoughts I have with you guys. Like I feel like I just want to go through my day and show you what I'm doing, but I don't talk about like this. And me and my mom have like these deep ass talks like about like her as a kid and how her parents treated her, and her relationship with like my dad when they met, and how they are now, and how like me reflecting on like how certain things that they did affected me now when I'm like healing like anxiety that I had because of like I always had so much pressure on me to be perfect for my dad when I was younger. Like I had to like heal that in hypnotherapy and do meditations on subconscious clearing and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, I have these conversations every day, and even with my friends, like me and Ollie talk about this type of stuff, but I feel like a lot of the times I don't share it, and I don't know, because I feel like people online just get so offended, and it's just like, it's really shitty, because like, stop getting offended, like, be open to learning. Like, I hear new information that I didn't know before, like this stuff about all the small subconscious family things, and I'm not like, oh my fucking god, no, I'm gonna do what I want. It's like, I'm like, wow, I'm so happy I came to this information. I'm so happy I learned this. Like, I can't wait to implement into my life and research this further and benefit not only myself but my kids, and then the kids that they have, and have like healthy, glowing, conscious, mentally stable, emotionally stable, happy, independent leaders and people, you know? I feel like that's just so important. And yeah, I don't know, I just get like really passionate. So I'm gonna go. I got a mango, no, it's just a black tea lemonade, and I'm gonna go to hypnotherapy.
Yeah, used to be at Silver City Indigo, used to be in lunchroom playing dominoes. I don't wanna have to go to funerals. Passionate from miles away, passive with the things you say.
I just got out of my hypnotherapy, and it was so good. It's raining, but it's like, I don't know, I don't mind it. Normally I don't really like enjoy the rain, just because like, I mean, obviously I'm so grateful that it's like watering all the plants and everything like that, but just because driving in, it's kind of like not the most fun. It's kind of like, it's the car slides like around, and people are like aggressive, and people on the highway you can't see. But my hypnotherapy session was really, really great. I just went like such, like, I don't even know, like I love my hypnotherapist so much. We have such like a connection, and it's just insane because she's like 20, how many years older? Like 25 years older than me, and we literally feel like we're best friends. And she even tells me, she's like, you literally are like on the same like consciousness level as me, and it's so crazy. Like I always forget like how old you are. Like I feel like literally we're like the same age because the way we discuss things, and it's just so great to like have almost like a mentor. Like I love her so much, and she's not only my hypnotherapist, so she helps me so much with personal growth, but almost like a mentor, and it's just like so great. And I don't know, I feel very inspired after, and I don't know, I'm just like, I have days where I get like super deep. I don't know, today maybe because it's rainy. I'm gonna stop. I think those are making a lot of noise, but it is getting rainy, so I need to put them on a minimum. Sorry if that's like noise is annoying you, like it's the windshield wipers. But I don't know, just like, it was like such a good session, and we just talked so much. And I did my hypnosis today, like on manifestation and stuff. It depends like on the week what I'm going through, if I need to like remove something, work on something, heal something, or manifest something into my life. It really depends. And yeah, I don't know, it's now Aries season, so I'm glad Pisces season is over, which the energy was like really not my favorite, just because I am a Gemini, so you can just like imagine how like that, I like to be like, and like it was very like deep. Oh my god, my camera flashes emergency and turns off, and it pisses me off so much because it's like I'm trying to talk. But anyway, my windshield wipers are going so fast because I just like there to be no rain on my window. I don't know, it like freaks me out. Like I feel like I need to have a clear view because once I feel like it's a little too aggressive, like, do you hear that? But like, gotta do what you gotta do. I'm driving home right now. I'm about to edit a video for today that I filmed yesterday, and then work on some schoolwork, and and then after that I have like 2.5 hours, and then I'm gonna go to spin class, and then after that it's gonna be like what, like 8 o'clock, so I'll start winding down, like, you know, cleaning up my apartment a little bit, etc. Just like doing my like nightly routine, shower, face mask. I like to like do a thing, meditating, things like that. So yeah, I don't know, it's like a chill Tuesday.